We're live.
Sweet.
Okay. I think we're live. Yeah. Episode 2 of Real You Adventures. Here with Izzy. We're having a Real You Adventure hike. So here we go. It's happening. Yeah. So things and stuff. Profound words and interesting things being said. Insert interesting things here. Oh man. Yeah, so.
I think my favorite thing so far is getting out and hiking.
Oh, yeah. How long have you been, not doing anything? Well, I mean, you've been doing stuff, but.
Like quarantine months?
Yeah.
A week and a half.
So you've been going on hikes to the lake?
Yep.
Yeah. Mental health is priority 1 right now. It's a nice place to be quarantined.
It really is.
Yeah. Here at Hag Lake, we are staying home. Yeah. We're roommates right now.
Yep. Don't know how long that'll last.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing against you, but I'm only staying here for so long.
Oh. Okay. But you're going back to work.
At some point.
At some point,
hopefully.
yeah. Anyway, I was telling you earlier that how this all started.
Yeah.
Was I did back when I was 22, I'm 40 now, so a long time ago. I did a bunch of outdoor leadership classes at Mount Hood Community College. It was an outdoor leadership program for a year, and we went mountaineering, rock climbing, rafting, all these extreme outdoor type stuff. And I was like, that's cool, but it wasn't really it didn't grab me.
Yeah.
I mean, I love being outside, but it wasn't it didn't become a passion, those things. But there was this one class we took that was called Adventure Education. And I was like, what the heck is this? And basically, it was in a classroom with no chairs. It was just a big room. And it was a bunch of team bonding activities and challenges, initiatives, things like that. And that was my first exposure. I had some exposure with summer camp when I was 19, but not to the extent that they were using them that you could use on expeditions with people. And I really realized the epiphany of, or I had an epiphany of, I was doing all these extreme outdoor adventure things, but the adventure of a human was way more interesting to me. What's going on with people underneath the layers of, everybody's got layers, right?
The onion layer.
The onion layers. And so the adventure education class was designed to create environments or experiences where people could experience each other on the deeper levels. And I was like, this is awesome. So I was like, I want to do more of this in my life. So I got involved with different programs and facilitations and companies that did that kind of stuff. And then I was like, I still want more. So I started a nonprofit called Real You Adventures 2011 and ran a few programs. And then it's hibernating right now because of other work. I just didn't have enough time to keep it going. But now that we got a ton of time on our hands, I was like, why not reopen it? And it doesn't have to be anything, crazy huge, but just that intention of having a real you adventure with whoever. So myself and you and whatever other people going on walks in the forest, chatting, seeing what's happening. It doesn't have to be super therapeutic. It's not you have to be crying or anything. But I think, which is ironic because to do this kind of thing, you kind of need to be in proximity of people.
Yeah.
But since we're quarantined, you can't really, we're quarantined together, so we're in proximity. 6 feet, yeah. because we started the quarantine together, but so it's like, well, here we go. But yeah, the irony is, it's hard to have an adventure
when you're quarantined.
when you're quarantined. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you can still get to deeper levels through
Right.
things like Zoom, phone calls, and FaceTime.
Yeah.
But there's something to be about being around another person. Like you can
Right.
pick up on their energies and
Yeah.
their body language, and
I was telling somebody the other day, like, I don't know how people stay inside for so long.
I'm just walking close to you because of the pick up the audio, not because I'm being creepy. Yeah, just like.
But I was trying to explain to them, like, I don't do good with sitting inside with no human contact
Yeah.
for over a week and a half.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're saying, you're picking up all their emotions and all that, and gauging where they're at and picking up off of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, sitting here by myself is not something I like to do.
Yeah. So what have you been doing to keep sane?
Well, I think like everybody else, phone calls, FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get outside so that I'm still staying active and feeling like I'm productive.
Yeah. Or you can walk more. I'm just trying to pick up the audio.
Trying to get me off the trail.
Yeah, no, walk close so it can pick up the audio, yeah. Yeah, staying productive.
Yeah.
Have you found yourself feeling guilty that you're not doing as much?
Kind of.
At times, I get that too. It's like,
Yeah.
I should be doing something. I mean, I find stuff to do, but
Right.
it's hard to like relax, which I think our culture, I mean, it's the blessing and curse of our culture.
Yeah.
Do we want to do the trail? Nah. It won't pick up the audio.
Okay.
We got to stay walking. Yeah. Yeah, because our culture is very ambitious
Right.
compared to a lot of cultures in the world, which is great because we create a lot of innovations, a lot of new awesome technology things and that benefit the world, but I think we have a hard time sitting still or relaxing,
Yeah.
really enjoying what we've created.
Right.
So I think this is kind of a cool time to slow down and like really appreciate what we've done in our own lives, and what we've done as a country, what we've done as a humanity, and also things we need to maybe adjust.
Right.
Hopefully we come out of this like with new perspective. It's kind of a reset, I think.
It really
a
is.
worldwide reset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
I could be wrong. I just
I don't think you're wrong.
I like pretend yelling at you. It's fun. I don't know what.
Am I wrong?
Am I wrong, Izzy? Yeah. I wonder if when we're talking, the car's going by, it like, stay home. What are you doing?
Where are you going?
Where are you going? Pull them over.
Actually, I think I know that person.
Oh, they probably live here on Hag Lake. Well, cool. Yeah. How did you, like, what's your jam? What do you like? What are you passionate about? What brings you alive? Like I kind of talked about what brings me alive. I think that's an important question. Like,
Yeah.
what, even if you didn't get paid, like, what would you find yourself doing?
Photography.
Photography?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were into photography.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I have a whole camera bag set up full of lens, my camera body, GoPro.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I love going out and taking photos.
Does Tree to Tree know this?
Yeah.
Have you taken photos for them?
No, not yet.
What the heck?
And it's probably because I don't advertise myself like that often, you know?
Is there a reason? Do you like it to keep it just as like a solo hobby?
I sort of like to keep it as a solo hobby. Like, I don't want to feel pressured to
Ah.
finish something, you know?
I've heard about that, like somebody's so good and passionate about something, like skateboarders or like whoever, and they like don't want to get sponsored because it takes the joy out of it.
Right.
I feel that way about dance. Sometimes like people are like, you should take dance lessons or teach dance, and I'm like, no, like I love dance because I get out of my head.
Right.
I don't want to be in my head when I'm, so that's Interesting. So photography, okay.
Yeah. I've done a lot of senior portraits. But I mostly like to just walk out into the forest and go take pictures.
What?
I even have an Instagram account.
I had no idea. Well, I don't really social media that much. I kind of use it as my own personal library.
But
I don't really look at other people's.
thanks.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm like, this is cool because it's my personal album that I can always access. I don't have to keep a photo album. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
Mostly. I mean, there's a certain percentage of motives for it, obviously, but that's my primary motive, is it's just saved forever. I think. Well, who knows?
Hopefully.
If not, whatever. Life goes on. Cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Anything else? What, like other passions?
Photography is the biggest one for me. Like, really, when I do get my days off, the thing I find myself wanting to do most is going out and walking and taking pictures.
So is that what you've been doing when you go out on these walks? You take pictures?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I never see you. Is that in your fanny pack? Is that all the stuff you have?
So my camera battery recently died, and I don't have my camera charger, so I gotta go get it.
Oh.
But that is leaving quarantine for something that's non-essential. So I'll usually take my phone and take pictures until I'm able to charge my camera again.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so concerned about the audio. We'll see. I mean, this is test. This is the first one I've done with somebody else, so we'll see how it picks up. I might have to get more like actual microphones and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. Photography. So what specifically about it do you enjoy?
It's like looking at the world through one specific eye and seeing it through a new lens. So I like to show people the way I see it through my camera.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with technology and the wilderness. I think it's a cool way to like get people in the know of different places they can go, but other times I think it could take away from the experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird for me, but I'm learning to respect different people's experience of nature. It's I think probably because I grew up pre-tech.
Yeah.
So I'm an old man. That's young whippersnappers in their ways. When I was your age.
When I was your age, I had to look out my window and just look outside.
Yeah. I had to remember my day. I couldn't put it in a story to watch later. Yeah. Also, I think because I run those programs where I create like a safe environment for people to be themselves. It's kind of like a big part of my job in facilitating and everything. And I notice as soon as somebody pulls out a phone, it changes the energy of the group. And so for me, because my passion is having an authentic, real experience with no layers in the way, and I feel like tech just creates another layer. So again, love-hate relationship, because I'm using tech right now, right? So it's like I'm a hypocrite. Yeah, totally. But we all are, in our different ways. We'll go this way, I think. But I think if the intention is there and the group knows this is a better thing just for us not to be looking at our phones, then everybody's bought into it. And because I think people want to connect genuinely without phones, and we're actually using our phones to connect. We're actually using our phones to get in proximity. Not now, obviously, but to get closer connections with humans because we're social creatures. And then so then when the time comes to actually be around people, my argument is well, let's just be around each other and not be looking at our phones, even though I'm guilty of it. I think it's it's just, as humans, it's such a new technology. I mean, so new as a human species. If you look at the history of humanity, like, so we're like, have the internet, we have these phone gadgets, and it's like, we don't even know how to navigate it, really. It's like a learning curve of trying to understand, like, how does this fit in a healthy way, a beneficial way?
Right.
That's kind of my jam too, is like, you know, everything's permissible, but not everything's beneficial. So like, we're free to do all these different things, but does it benefit ourselves, like myself and others? I think that's a good filter to like kind of navigate choices, even though I've made multiple mistakes. We all have. I've learned too, like, I heard this thing on a podcast. It was like, we make mistakes, but we are not our mistakes.
Yeah.
You can learn from them, but as soon as you associate yourself with the mistake, then you go in this like downward spiral and you beat yourself up, or you blame others for being a victim of the mistake, and not just being like, okay, look outside of it, be like, okay, that was a bad choice. Yeah. I'm choosing to learn from it and move on. I think moving on is a healthy thing. Yeah. It's like, just, all right, bad choice, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you made mistakes, Izzy? You don't have to talk about them.
Yes.
I just don't want to be the only one who's made mistakes.
No, I have.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Like, as soon as you associate yourself with it instead of letting it go, like, it sort of changes.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah, it becomes like a learning.
Right.
Like life school.
Right.
This is my life school class. It's 80-year term. I'll graduate. I'm halfway through. Yeah. Yeah. Life's weird. And then a pandemic.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think
the one thing we're learning is that we as people don't like to sit and stay.
Yeah, we're active. I think we're innately active.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we ran around a bunch.
Right.
Our physical bodies were designed for that. Like, okay, we're going hunting, or we're going foraging, or we got to build this thing, and oh no, we're getting invaded. Oh geez, run away or attack, and we're just kind of designed for that biologically, and then we're not as active now because of technology, but our bodies still need to move.
Yeah.
I've heard this thing where if you exercise a bunch, you're less stressed because your body has all this like innate energy that just needs to get out. And so if you don't let it out, you get all angsty and like, that's why there's like road rage, and the energy just has to get out somewhere. Yeah. So if you don't like daily exert it, you can tend to hold that stress in, and it can become toxic, and then you can get, different kinds of health issues. So that's why I like to be very active, as you know. Yep. Push-ups, squats,
pull-ups.
Yeah, thanks for motivating me with the music last night.
You're welcome.
I did my workout last night. I was not motivated to, and Izzy put on some good pump-up music. It was like my coach, do it, go. It's like, I need motivation, Izzy. I know this is important, but I really don't want to do it right now. So, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
That was when we had a dance party.
Yep.
What was the theme song? It was Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
I don't want to lazy. I don't want to do anything.
Lazy song.
Yeah. Even though it gets you up and moving, it's kind of,
It's a new quarantine song.
It's a new quarantine song, yeah. Man, such a beautiful spot.
I know.
It's amazing that we can just have access to this.
Yeah.
We are lucky.
We really are.
We are lucky. #lucky.
So many trails out here to do.
Yeah.
Just right at our access.
So do you feel like, we were talking about this too, like the air just seems cleaner?
It does.
Like even after a week of this shut down.
So like when you first had said it, I was like, I don't know, because I haven't really like gone outside and anything. And then after a week of hiking and then going back into town, I was like, oh wait, like the air really does seem cleaner and just like almost smells better.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast the world's kind of like I don't want to say what, fixed itself or like healed itself, reset like so quickly. I was talking to my brother. He's like, when we look back on this as a world, we might be like, oh, okay, month time for the planet to kind of revive itself. And we just know through this experience that it can really quickly. Maybe, there's no science quite yet with it, but I'm sure they're doing a lot of research with the pollution levels and how quickly it all went down. And then we could be like, hey, you know what? If everyone just chills out for a month, which we can, and I'm sure they'll set up systems that'll make it much more smoother. Obviously, we don't know what we're doing right now as a world.
I gotta buy toilet paper.
Oh yeah, toilet paper. I guess that makes sense. It's just, I mean, it was weird to me, all the things that people were buying as toilet paper.
Right.
Teach their own. I mean, maybe I'll sing a different tune when we run out. Should have bought that toilet paper. You seen that thing where people are taping their shower heads to their toilet toilet lid? You know, like homemade bidet. It's funny. Yeah, I was out here. Well, I come out here every morning and just spend some time looking at the water and reflecting.
Yeah.
There was one I just sat for like 30 minutes looking at the water. And if you stare at the water for like a long time, like 10 minutes, and just kind of like let your eyes relax.
Yeah.
And then if you look back at the ground, it starts moving.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's so
it's like a sober psychedelic. It's weird, really weird. Try it out. Because I guess the movement of the water, your eyes get used to. And then when you look back at the ground, it keeps moving.
Yeah.
The ground moves. It's weird. Try it out, people. If you're near a lake, I guess.
Go look at the water.
Go look at the water for like 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Relaxes the mind. It's kind of like meditative, like staring at water, staring at fire. Just chills the brain out.
I didn't realize that this is where this hike came out to, because I've been taking the woods.
Whoops, almost stepped in a hole there. You been taking the woods?
I've been taking the wood trail.
Taking the wood trail.
Up to here.
Yeah, these all kind of combine. I know this area pretty well. All my runs, this is where I go on all my runs. If you do the entire lake on the road, it's 10 miles.
Okay.
So I've done that a few times. That's a fun one. You're beat though at the end.
Right.
And then if you do the trails, it's pretty much exactly a half marathon.
Really?
Yeah, I've done that too. No big deal. That sounded pretentious. Yeah, I've done that. I'm awesome. No, I love running. That's my passion for sure. Definitely is like a vision quest. Get a lot of creative problem solving things that I need to might need to figure out in my life. Just going on a run or whatever.
It's funny that we go from last week where everybody's out here on the lake, spending time hiking and walking, to nobody being out here. Yeah.
Here we can walk. What are you gonna take are you gonna take a photo?
Yeah.
It looks like the ocean a little bit, the way the sky is. You know how the ocean kind of has that gray.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, there was a ton of people here, just this last weekend?
Yeah.
And then nobody on Monday?
Yep.
Yeah, there's even a lot of people on the trails.
Yeah.
And they'd come towards me and we'd do like social distancing on the trail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting time. So what do you think is going to be like? What's your optimistic view of the whole thing, like how it's going to play out and like how we're going to reflect on it as a species?
I think we're going to reflect on it most with how the earth is able to sort of come back and like do that reset.
Yeah. Yeah, so similar. Yeah. Yeah, my brother, he lives in Kenya. We were talking about this earlier. He's saying that what's unique about the States is that we kind of already live a quarantined life.
Yeah.
Like we wake up in a box, we drive one box to work, we work in a box. Not all of us, but the majority of us, and then we come back to the same box. Our culture's not very as social as other countries.
Right.
And so that could be a weird blessing in disguise.
Right.
As far as a slower spread in the less dense populations, obviously, in the States. But other cultures like Italy, like they're just so social.
Right.
And they all live together. So it, spread really fast. I was like, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Yep. I think what's cool too is like the whole world is going through this together.
Right.
Instead of just one part of it. It's like,
Yep.
Wow. You've heard that thing like the world will unite once we have a common enemy.
Yeah.
Or once we have like an alien attack. It's like, well, I didn't think it was going to be a worldwide virus.
Right.
But maybe that's another blessing. Like it's helping us unite. I mean, obviously it's awful and a lot of tragedy with it, but it's interesting looking at both sides.
Yeah. The other day when I came out last week, I ended up seeing a beaver down here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I've never seen a beaver in this lake. Wow. I was watching a catfish documentary a long time ago.
Yeah.
These guys that do this competition of trying to catch the biggest catfish.
Okay.
And what they do is there's different ways to do it, but there's a hole, there'll be a hole underwater, and you stick your hand in there and wiggle your fingers, and then the catfish thinks it's like something to eat.
Oh.
And then it'll bite your hand. Obviously, it's just like sandpaper.
Right.
And then you just pull your arm out, and that's how you catch them.
Huh. That's cool.
But a lot of times you gotta be careful because it could be a beaver's hole.
Oh.
And if you get bit by a beaver, it's your finger's gone, like, or your hand's gone. Like they chew through wood.
Yeah.
And I was like, it made me think of that. It's like there's so many interesting things that people do, like catching catfish with their fingers. And it's like that's your jam. All right, no judgment. It's just I could never really find myself wanting to spend my time doing that.
Yeah.
But man, it makes you happy. So, what do we have out here? Bass, sturgeon? Do we have sturgeon?
I really have no idea.
Sturgeon are those big things that the bottom of the lake, right?
I think so.
I could be way off. I don't know.
I have no idea. So,
Yeah.
I guess whoever watches this video can tell us.
Yeah, or you could Google it on your phone. I don't think it's that important. It's
I'm
not
not pulling out my
It's
phone.
not like life-changing knowledge. Yeah, as we're like, no phones in nature. Yeah, could you look up sturgeon? Were you here when I built that, tried to build a paddleboard out of wood? It was like a total disaster. It was definitely a learning experience. You couldn't, it wasn't like buoyant enough for a human, but you could put, a drink on it.
There we go.
Or some snacks. We called it the paddle coffin because it looked like a little mini coffin. Just this wooden like coffin shaped thing.
Nice.
And then we hid it in the bushes so we could have, play with it when we came down. And then next time we came down, it was gone. Somebody stole it. Like I made it all nice, like rounded the edges and stained it, and like it looked pretty.
Yeah.
Not very functional. Kind of like some people I know. Just joking. Looked pretty but not functional. Yeah, it's horrible. I don't know anybody like that. Nope.
Can't name one.
Mm-mm. We're almost at the end of our hike here, Izzy.
I know. Have any last
I don't know.
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just the tip of the iceberg. Getting to know you. I mean, we're just talking.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have many more depths of amazement, as we all do.
Like we've talked about,
Yeah.
layers of amazing and layers of not.
Yeah, we're all amazing. We're all not amazing. No one's exempt from the two. I think it's good to lean towards the amazing side the best we can.
Yep.
And then I think to choose to see that in another person.
Yeah.
I think what we like choose to look at, we're filled with. So if we choose to look at what we don't like about somebody continually, or a situation or whatever, or work, you're going to be filled with that kind of
right.
stuff you're looking at. So I think it behooves us to look for the goodness, the beauty, the amazingness of a person or situation, and then we're filled with that. Yeah. That's where I think we do have choice. Again, I'm not the best at that either, but I think that's a good thing to lean into.
Yep.
So we're gonna play my Lego game.
Are we?
Later. Probably. Maybe. I got some more videos to put together, but...
Okay.
But yeah, I created a Castle Lego board game.
I'm excited for this game.
You excited for this?
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's pretty addictive. I used to have